Welcome back to the channel, it's your boy D-Rock, and today we're going to be going through every X-Men Omnibus released so far in reading order, so let's get right to it. We're going to start this list off with an honorable mention, the X-Men Omnibus Volume 1, Stan Lee, Roy Thomas, Jack Kirby, Hitter, 768 page count and a cover price of $99.99. Now this thing is set to be reprint January 5th, 2022. Up above, you can check out all the upcoming omnibuses for X-Men that are coming out soon. Now this book collects X-Men issue 1 through 31. It has all kinds of first appearances. The original team, Beast, Iceman, Marvel Girl, Cyclops, you got Magneto, the Juggernaut, Sentinels, Khazar, all sorts of first appearances. This book is where it all began, a team that's been going 50 plus years strong with some of the greatest characters and storylines ever created in comics. Next on the list, we got the X-Men Omnibus Volume 2, which had a 912 page count and a cover price of $99.99. On the dust jacket here, you get this great cover by John Cassaday. You get all the issues, of course, printed on the back of the omnibus. This thing is just jam-packed with all the classic issues from the early X-Men Silver Age stuff. This book, of course, has like the classic leathery look with the silver writing on it. And of course, don't forget to stretch your spines, folks, before you start reading. But the new printing should probably have like a wraparound cover with the DM variant and the regular, I would assume. They've been doing that with most of the books lately. But this book collects the X-Men 32 through 66 and the Avengers 53. Now, let's flip through these pages quick and then move on to the next omnibus on the list. Moving forward, we got the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 1, which had an 848 page count and a cover price of $100. As the X-Men were dying off and nobody was reading it anymore, your boy Chris Claremont came out and just knocked it out of the park with this. So this starts really some of the most epic storylines in X-Men history. This book contains Giant Size X-Men number 1, the X-Men 94 through 131, and Annual 3, jam-packed full of great X-Men storylines, and really it just took off from here, and it's the main reason why we still have continuing stories from the X-Men to this day. Now let's flip through, check out the artwork, and then move on to the next omnibus. Continuing to the next volume, we got Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2, which had a 912 page count and a cover price of $100. You got this great DM variant dust jacket here from John Byrne. Just tremendous stuff, all the books listed on the back so you can see. This is where X-Men really took off in this omnibus volume with stories of the Dark Phoenix Saga, and then you got Days of the Future Past. This book collects a whole bunch of just classic material. It collects X-Men 132 through 141, Annual 4 through 5, the Uncanny X-Men 142 through 153, the Avengers Annual 10, Marvel Fanfare 1 through 4, Marvel Treasury Edition 26 through 27, Marvel Team Up 100, Bizarre Adventures 27, and Phoenix The Untold Story 1. Now let's flip through these pages and get on to the next omnibus. To help fill in all those gaps, we got the X-Men Classic Omnibus, which had a 1,040 page count and a cover price of $125. With this omnibus here, you have what is described as the perfect companion to your Uncanny X-Men collection. So it's basically tying in a bunch of the stories in the Uncanny X-Men. It has this super clean and crispy wraparound cover, which just looks great. And it basically just expands on the classic stories that we all know and love and adds a little bit more to it. This book collects the backup stories and new pages from classic X-Men number 1 through 44 and material from Fanfare 1982 number 60. let's flip through quick and then get on to the next. Moving along, we got the X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga Omnibus. It had a 688 page count and a cover price of $100. This book here is mainly a money grab for the most part, I would say. If you have Uncanny Volume 2, you don't really need it, but it's, if you're a completionist, this is a book for you. It is basically just the Dark Phoenix Saga. It has this wraparound Phoenix cover here, which I am not a fan of. They could have done a way better job with this, but like I said, it's kind of, I feel like this was more of a money grab. It definitely double dips within some of the other omnibuses. But if you're a fan of the Dark Phoenix Saga and you just want this storyline, it's perfect for you. This book collects X-Men 97 through 105, 107 through 108, 125 through 138, and Phoenix the Untold Story, plus material from classic X-Men 6, 8, 13, 18, 24, and 43, Bizarre Adventures 27, and What If 27. Let's flip through the artwork and get on to the next omnibus. A more recent reprint, we got the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 3. It had a 1,056 page count and the cover price was $125. This Omni, I got the DM variant cover by Paul Smith, which is just that great classic looking cover. All the issues on the back here, just like most books. This book contains a bunch of great storylines with God Loves, Man Kills. You got the growing romance with Kitty Pryde and Colossus, and then you also get some Frank Miller Wolverine stuff collected in here. This Omni collects the Uncanny X-Men 154 through 175, the X-Men Annual 6 through 7, Special Edition X-Men 1, Marvel Graphic Novel 5, Wolverine 1 through 4, and Magic 1 through 4. This year we got a new volume, the Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 4. It had an 848 page count and the cover price was $125. This book here has the DM variant cover by John Romita. All the books, of course, listed on the back. It's got some classic storylines throughout it. You get some Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. You get the battle between Juggernaut and Colossus. All kinds of great stuff collected in this book. This book actually collects the Uncanny X-Men 176 through 193, the X-Men Annual 8, Kitty Pryde and Wolverine 1 through 6, X-Men and Alpha Flight 1 through 2, and Marvel Fanfare 40. Next up, we have another reprint coming this year, the X-Men Mutant Massacre Omnibus, 952 page count and a cover price of $100. Mutant Massacre, the first X-Men event, the most brutal, a dramatic and deadly battle. This book contains a bunch of great stuff, man. Gotta love this wraparound cover they have here. I'm not sure if this is going to be possibly a cover for the reprint of this coming out soon, but just Wolverine and Sabretooth just going at it. This book collects Uncanny X-Men 210 through 219 and Annual 11, X-Factor 9 through 17 and Annual 2, New Mutants 46, Thor 373 through 374 and 377 through 378, Power Pack 27, Daredevil 238, Fantastic Four vs. the X-Men 1 through 4, and X-Men vs. the Avengers 1 through 4. So this thing is just packed with all kinds of great material. Let's flip through and check out some of the artwork. Coming in hot, we have a brand new event book that came out this year, the X-Men Inferno Omnibus. It had a 1,240 page count and a cover price of $125. Coming after the Mutant Massacre event, we get the X-Men Inferno Event. We got that great cover art by Walter Simonson. All the books listed on the back, of course. Slipping off the Dutch jacket, you get this great, like, leathery black print, but we get the fire around the base. Just a great looking omnibus here. Super thick. So thick. This book is a huge event, and the prelude for this should be coming out December 8th of 2021. It was supposed to come out early September, but the date got moved back, just like pretty much every omnibus coming out these days. But this book collects X-Factor 33 through 40, Exterminators 1 through 4, Uncanny X-Men 239 through 243, New Mutants 71 through 73, Power Pack 40 and 42 through 44, Avengers 298 through 300, Fantastic Four 322 through 324, Amazing Spider-Man 311, 313, Spectacular Spider-Man 146 through 148, Web of Spider-Man 47 through 48, Daredevil 262 through 263 and 265, Excalibur 6 through 7, Mutant Misadventures of Cloak and Dagger number 4, and material from X-Factor Annual 4. Up next, a book that also had a reprint this year, X-Men Omnibus Volume 1. It had a 720 page count and the cover price was $125. This book has the regular cover here from Jim Lee, which is my favorite cover. There's also a DM variant, but man, you get a bunch of stuff collected in this book. The classic leather look, of course. You get the first appearance of Gambit. Bunch of great stuff collected in this book. Not my favorite of reading material. It's a little slow and doesn't involve a lot of the X-Men. This book, people aren't really a fan of a lot. When you get to volume 2, that's when everything really picks up. But this does have some good stuff collected in it. Gotta love that little splash page there. But this book collects Uncanny X-Men 244 through 269, X-Men Annual 13, and Classic X-Men number 39. So there's a bunch of great material in this. Kind of so-so reading material, but there definitely is some great artwork throughout it. This year, we also got a reprint on X-Men Omnibus Volume 2, which had an 832 page count and a cover price of $125. This is the regular cover from Jim Lee, which is just classic X-Men. What I feel and see when I think of X-Men, just that classic style, the Jim Lee greatness from the 90s. There's also a DM variant, which I'm not a huge fan of that cover style, so of course I went with this. But this is one we've all been waiting for once it got reprinted. This thing has been long sold out for a while. It's just, like I said, the classic stuff I think of when I was a kid. These are the books I read. You get the first appearance of Omega Red. This book collects X-Factor 63 through 70, Uncanny X-Men 273 through 280, X-Men 1 through 9, that classic run, and material from issues 10 and 11, and Ghost Rider 26 through 27. So this is the real deal, man. Probably one of my favorite omnibus from the X-Men. And let's flip through, take a look at the artwork, and then there's also some fold-out posters and whatnot in the back of the book as well. God, I love that Magneto cover. That shit is fire! But so let's flip through quick, check that out, and get on to the next Omni. Next up on the list, we have the super underrated X-Men Grand Design Omnibus. It had a 488 page count and a cover price of $100. Like I said, super underrated omnibus right here from Ed Piskor. Absolutely love the design on this book. The cover is just absolutely fantastic. And then you slip the dust jacket off and you got this other great, the X there. Man, just such a clean looking book. And to describe this book really it's kind of hard to say. Is I would say it's like the Cliff Notes of the history of X-Men. It's just a grouping, a retold of all the classic X-Men stories, just kind of broken down into one little book here. But the artwork throughout it is just absolutely incredible. I love the page quality and just they make the pages look somewhat older. The artwork throughout it is just incredible, man. It's definitely a great book to pick up if you're an X-Men fan, or even somebody who just wants to get into X-Men. I definitely recommend it. This book collects X-Men Grand Design 1 through 2, X-Men Grand Design Second Genesis 1 through 2, and X-Men Grand Design Extinction number 1 through 2. Plus material recolored reprints of X-Men number 1, Giant Size X-Men number 1, and Uncanny X-Men 268. So this book is just jam-packed full of great artwork, man. I definitely recommend it. Let's flip through and then get on to the next omnibus. Another thick whale of a book we got a reprint on this year, X-Men Age of Apocalypse Omnibus. It had a 1,072 page count and a cover price of $125. Another classic X-Men storyline here, just reprinted recently. Got the great dust jacket here from Billy Tan. This is just the regular cover. Got all the book covers on the back here. Just a classic story, man. Your boy Professor X is dead, and the world is being run by the evil apocalypse. So the group of mutants need to come together and try and set things right. Just a classic story, man. This book collects Uncanny X-Men 320 through 321, X-Men 40 through 41, Cable 20, X-Men Alpha, Amazing X-Men 1 through 4, Astonishing X-Men 1 through 4, X-Factor 1 through 4, Gambit and the Externals 1 through 4, Generation Next 1 through 4, Weapon X 1 through 4, Excalibur 1 through 4, X-Man 1 through 4, X-Men Omega, Age of Apocalypse, The Chosen, and X-Men Ashcan number 2. Let's flip through this artwork and then move on to the next omnibus, which is the companion to this. Next up, to fill in all those gaps, we also got a reprint of X-Men Age of Apocalypse with the companion omnibus. 992 page count and the cover price was $99.99. And here we have the X-Men Age of Apocalypse companion, which, as it says, it's just some tie-ins and a little bit extra to the stories. Age of Apocalypse was just such a great event book that they just wanted to add some more. It's got the great wraparound cover inside, and this book collects a bunch of stuff, collecting X-Men Chronicles 1 through 2, Tales of the Age of Apocalypse 1 through 2, X-Men 1 and 53 through 54, Blink 1 and 4, X-Universe 1 through 2, Exiles 60 through 61, X-Men Age of Apocalypse 1 through 6, and One Shot What If 77 and 81, and What If X-Men Age of Apocalypse, plus material from Hulk, Broken Worlds number 2, X-Men Prime X-Men Annual 96, X-Men Endangered Species, Exiles Days of Then and Now, and the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Age of Apocalypse 2005. So I'll flip through the artwork and then move on to the next omnibus. Moving forward, another thick whale of a book set to be reprinted early next year. We have the X-Men Avengers Onslaught Omnibus, 1,296 page count and a cover price of $125. Another classic event, the cover art here from Andy Kubert on this dust jacket here. And this is just a thick book, man. Good lord, this thing weighs easily over 10 pounds. There's so much content in it. Just classic X-Men. Gotta love this wraparound cover. Colors are just absolutely popping on this thing. Great stuff here. This is also getting a reprint this year, so that'll be coming out. This book, super thick, collecting Cable 32 through 36, Uncanny X-Men 333 through 337, X-Force 55 and 57 through 58, X-Men 15 through 19, X-Men 53 through 57, X-Men Unlimited 11, Onslaught X-Men Avengers 401 through 402, Fantastic Four 415, Incredible Hulk 444 through 445, Wolverine 104 through 105, X-Factor 125 through 126, Amazing Spider-Man 415, Green Goblin 12, Spider-Man number 72, Iron Man 332, Punisher 11, Thor 502, Onslaught, Marvel Universe, X-Men Annual 96, Onslaught Epilogue X-Men, The Road to Onslaught, and material from Excalibur, number 100, and Fantastic Four 416. Great stuff. Love that Sinister right there. Let's flip through, get to the end, checking out all of this classic artwork. Getting deeper into the more modern X-Men stuff, we have X-Men vs. Apocalypse, the 12 Omnibus. It had a 1,272 page count, and the cover price was $125. Apocalypse back again, trying to fuck things up even more for the X-Men. As usual, a team of 12 is come together to try and, of course, save the world from Apocalypse. This has a great wraparound cover. That 90s artwork that I just love so much. You got your boy Apocalypse looking crazy on the spine here. This book collects a bunch of great stuff from Uncanny X-Men 371 through 380 and Annual 99, X-Men 91 through 93, 95 through 99 and Annual 99, X-Men Unlimited 25 through 26, Cable 71 through 78, Gambit 8 through 9, Astonishing X-Men 1 through 3, Wolverine 145 through 149, X-Man 59 through 60, X-51 number 8, X-Force 101, Marvel Authentics, Astonishing X-Men number 1, and material from X-Men 94 and X-Men Unlimited number 24. Apocalypse looking all evil. So much great content in this book. We'll flip through and check out some of the artwork and move on to the next. Next up, you have Chris Claremont's return to X-Men with the X-Men Revolution Omnibus. It had a 904 page count and the cover price was $100. Chris Claremont's triumphant return to writing for the X-Men, which some say is pretty terrible. This is actually one that I have not jumped into yet, and maybe one day I'll plan to, but for now I've been kind of putting it off. Gotta love the 90s style X-Men though. It's got the wraparound cover on there. This book collects X-Men 100 through 109 and Annual 2000, Uncanny X-Men 381 through 389, X-Men Unlimited 27 through 29, X-Men Black Sun 1 through 5, Bishop the Last X-Man 15 through 16, and Cable 87. So, it's got great artwork throughout it. Fan of that for sure. I hear the story isn't great. I'll get around to it one day, but for now, we'll just flip through and check out some of the artwork through the book and then move to the next omnibus. Up next, we have the new X-Men Omnibus by Grant Morrison. It had a 1,120 page count and the cover price was $125. Here we have the new X-Men run from Grant Morrison, which is just an absolute tremendous run, man. This is a great story. Love the artwork throughout it. Took me a little bit to get used to like the way the characters are drawn and everything, but all around it's a great book. And man, that wraparound cover is great looking. It's a nice thick book too. I believe this is out of print now. Just a great story from Grant Morrison as usual, man. He's just so good at what he does. And we'll flip through, take a look at the artwork. This book collects New X-Men 114 through 154 and New X-Men Annual 2001. So there's just a great storyline through here, and definitely great book for new readers if you're trying to get into the X-Men. This is a great book to start out with, and let's flip through and check out some of this just tremendous artwork. Getting close to the end, we have the Astonishing X-Men Omnibus. It had a 672 page count and the cover price was $100. Another great book for new readers to the X-Men series. You get the Astonishing X-Men from Joss Whedon. This is just the regular cover here. You get all the cover art on the back of the book. And this is basically just like a complete reinvention of what the X-Men is. It's got this new team. Got the wraparound cover here, which is just great looking. The artwork throughout the book is just absolutely incredible. It's a great start for new readers if you're trying to get into it. If you think there's too much of the older stuff from Claremont and all that, this is a good place to just start out and get your feet wet to go back and read all the classic stuff. This book collects Astonishing X-Men 1 through 24 and giant size Astonishing X-Men number 1. So we'll flip through the pages, check out the artwork, and move on to the last omnibus in the group, number 21 of the omnibuses released so far. And finally, we have the X-Men Legacy Legion Omnibus, which had a 528 page count and a cover price of $75. We have here the X-Men Legacy Legion Omnibus. Of course, Legion being the crazy-ass son of your boy Professor X himself. The cover art here is from Mike El Mundo, and it has a great wraparound cover underneath of just what the dust jacket has on it. This book collects X-Men Legacy 1 through 24. It's jam-packed with some pretty great stories and has really good artwork throughout it. So this is the last omnibus on the list so far. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite omnibus are from the X-Men, what your favorite upcoming releases are. Hope you enjoyed every omnibus released so far in reading order. And don't forget after the video to see how you can be entered in a giveaway to win a 1/10 scale Colossus statue from Iron Studios. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Thanks y'all. Peace. We are on that road to 500 subscribers, and we got another giveaway going on. Once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to be giving away that 1/10 scale Iron Studios Colossus. To get yourself entered in that giveaway, all you got to be is subscribe to the channel, like a video where I mentioned this giveaway, and comment on the video. You also need to be located in the United States. Once we hit 500 subs, I'll do a random comment generator and pick the winner. So stay tuned for that. Good luck, share the video, get it out there. Let's get this milestone done and get on to the next one. Thanks for watching D-Rock Steady Reviews, and good luck.